What's up guys, TechTitan here, and I am back again with a brand new video. So this is gonna be the full camera review of the Revel 6 Pro. And listen, the 6 Pro has a good camera system for the $220 price point that it has. But Pro is a stretch to me. So the name for it, the correct name should really be a plus more than a pro, but we're going to break this down. So we're going to be talking about the camera design, the camera specs, picture quality, video quality of course, and I'll end it in kind of a conclusion. Please excuse the background noise. If you hear it, just ignore it. Okay, so the Revel 6 Pro has a clean, simple camera design on the back and fits it well. So it doesn't have the same layer of glass as the Revel 6. I think that's more clean, but still is just makes it simple, makes it fit well. It's not excessively large or protrudes way too much. It does protrude, but not as much as other camera systems that I've seen. So basically, the camera specs are the following. You have a quad camera system with a 55-212. So a 50 main megapixel sensor with a 5 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And the camera app itself is simple, straightforward. It also takes pictures quickly and reliably, which are two features that for $220 is definitely nice addition to have, especially when you're taking HDR photos, which is something that I highly recommend you do at pretty much all times. So with that being said, let's now jump to picture quality, which is really the actual test and what's going to tell us whether this camera is garbage or respectable. So it is, bottom line, it does have a respectable camera. So when compared to phones of its same price point, the pictures are definitely better, but the catch here is that you do have to have HDR turned on most of the time. All the time, to be honest. That would be my recommendation. So in good lighting condition, the pictures come out vibrant, the colors are good, exposure is fairly balanced, it does a pretty good job when it comes to focus and the bokeh effect. Bokeh effect meaning the blur that is in the background. Okay. However, when we switch to the wide angle, and we'll see more shots when we get to indoor photography, there is definitely the camera does take a hit as far as quality. So resolution is down from a 50 megapixel to 5 megapixel, and the quality just takes a fat hit in the face, right? It's you'll see it more, it'll be more visible in the indoor photography side of things. The dynamic range itself is also really impressive, is the right word that I want to use, right? And that's not a word that I want to use lightly, just because when you look at a $220 phone, you wouldn't expect the high dynamic range to be this good. I mean, it almost feels like it's a $350+ smartphone camera with this nice dynamic range. Now switching to indoor photography. In indoor photography, you do get a loss of quality whether you're in the main sensor or the wide angle, but the wide angle is just much worse. This picture, for example, look at it in the main sensor and flipping it to the wide angle, fat loss in quality. Next picture, same deal. Look at it in the main sensor, right? Colorful, not as colorful as having a actual sunlight shining at the photo, but artificial light is artificial light. There's nothing you can do about it. But look at this photo and switch it to wide angle, fat difference. I mean, like, check this out. You can kind of see colors. It's decent, right? It's not great, but it's decent. But when you flip it to the wide angle, it just takes a fat hit. Okay, so the selfie camera itself is also fair. It's better than the Revel 6, which I am going to be doing a comparison between the Revel 6 and the Revel 6 Pro, so stay tuned for that. Nighttime photography, it's going to be a loss in quality regardless of what phone you get. Again, the wide angle is just not usable at that point, but the main sensor is okay for the price. It does the job and it does it fairly decent. So with that being said, here's a sample video, and I'll get back to you guys in a conclusion about the video and about the camera as a whole. Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here, and this is the video camera test of the T-Mobile Revel 6 Pro. So here we have a slightly improved version of the Revel 6 that shoots, I think in my opinion, better video, and
keeps everything fairly composed, right? Fairly decent in exposure, so not too bad, not too shabby. Not great either, by the way. And one of the things that you can actually do is that you can adjust between the standard lens and the wide angle lens while. So I think that's a neat feature to have. So yeah, I mean that's your.
Okay, so the video camera capability of this phone is not as good as you would expect. I mean, not as good as the picture quality, right? When you're taking photos is much better than when you're taking video on this phone. So definitely not that great. It's fair. It kind of gets the job done. Not really. It just depends on what you're trying to do. In a good lighting condition, it's decent, but it just does not have the sharpness that I like, the detail that I like, or the fair balance of exposure, and the focus on it is good. So I'll definitely give it that. Okay. So with that being said, as a collective, as a whole, this is definitely a an impressive camera for $220. It definitely rivals other competitors. It definitely rivals other competitors at this. It definitely rivals. It definitely rivals other competitors at this price point. But keep in mind, eh, it's tough, right? I mean, it's definitely fair, but a pro is just not the name that I would use for it. So bottom line is this: I definitely do have respect for this camera. It just the pro name is not something that I would use to describe it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is more of a plus feature, right? The higher resolution plus um, the picture quality between the Revel 6 and Revel 6 Pro is is there, but it's not pro per se. So plus is much more. It's a much better way of describing this phone's camera system. So with that being said, I mean, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. More content is coming really soon, so stay subscribed, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.